We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
You have a couple of stories.
Yeah, it's funny because we talked about it here, and a client, Michael, who called over the weekend, and we connected on Monday, and he said, "Listen, I've been listening to you guys." He works the third shift, so he goes in when our show is on, and he goes, "I've just heard you for the last month and a half. Just hammer the fact that rates are low. I need to refinance." And I'm like, I just gotta call him. We're taking him from a 30-year fixed FHA loan. Okay, 30-year fixed FHA loan is rates at 5%. We're bringing him down to a 3.5% 15-year fixed with no points, no closing cost, and no PMI. He's paying an extra $100 a month, and he's going from a 30-year. He's been in it for 25 years, so he's going from a 25-year amortization down to a 15-year fixed. And he was like, I can't believe I just waited a whole month to give you guys a call.
So I just want to break this down for the listeners. So this individual was 5 years into their mortgage. They had 25 years left.
Right.
And you shaved off 10 years of interest.
Right.
That's potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And removed his PMI. He was paying $90 a month in PMI. So reduce them from 5% down to 3.5%.
And for the listeners, PMI is private mortgage insurance. So if you didn't have enough down payment to put down at the time that you acquired the property, you're paying that nut every month.
Yep.
And you're able, Rick, to be able to get rid of that.
When you're looking at a foreclosed home, the biggest challenge is if it's winterized. And then getting the bank to agree to de-winterize and then have to re-winterize it again, because every time you touch it, it's money involved, and they don't want to do it multiple times for different home inspections to go through. And that's the challenging part for us, because if we can't check the plumbing, we can't check whether your sinks leak, your toilets leak, your showers work, we can't check your dishwasher, we can't run your sinks, heating systems, hot water. There's a lot of different things that we can't check when it's winterized. So there's a lot of wild cards left out there for you. We can go off of statistics and what it visually looks like, but once you turn something on, a little pinhole pipe leak can lead to a lot of issues.
Based on your experience, how amenable are banks to be able to sort of cooperate with the buyer in de-winterizing a particular property? Because, if you don't de-winterize it, there's so many unknowns.
You have appraisal issues too. The bank can't get an appraisal if the systems, they can't test the systems.
Right. Yeah, the ones I've come across recently, the banks are pushing towards the person buying the house to de-winterize and then re-winterize the property afterwards.
At their expense.
Yeah, at their own expense.
Oh, wow. Now, sort of shifting to something that's near and dear to your heart, antique homes.
Yes.
I know a lot of the buyers that Rick and I service, they love antique homes. They also have an affinity towards that. There's certain challenges with antique homes. What are some of the challenges that you think a potential buyer should be mindful of?
Nice. Well, antique homes are beautiful. I love inspecting those, but they are the right house for the right person. You find a lot of times young buyers, they fall in love with the charm and the aspect of owning a historic house, and they don't know how to turn a screwdriver. So those are the absolute wrong people to be purchasing that type of house.
Me.
Yeah, you want to get the person that maybe grew up in one of those. Their parents have restored a house, or they've done one in the past, because they're 100, 200 plus years old. They are going to require certain types of maintenance. They're built a certain way. So a lot of contractors today don't understand how they were built. So a guy that might be a good contractor on a modern style house may not know how to properly repair or fix one of those houses.
That's the thing. The snow is the water source. So
Gotcha.
if you've already got the dam and you've got the leak, you've got to remove the snow. Now, a lot of people will say, well, you get the snow rake and you take off the bottom 4 feet of snow from the bottom edge. Okay, and then when the snow above melts, where's it going to go? It's going to go to that new clearing and
Right.
freeze up again.
Gotcha.
What the theory is that you've got the eave that sticks out past the wall. That's not an insulated place, so that's going to get the air, and if you've even got good ventilation, that's going to then freeze that spot. So that's where you see the heat cables will go up on that roof along that area. But you can't just have them there. You've got to have them in the gutter and the downspouts as well.
Would you recommend laying down any type of ice melt as you're taking the snow down, so to prevent this from sort of getting out of hand?
Well, not up on the shingles. You don't want to damage the shingles with the and then there's
Good
so many
point.
different kinds of ice melt products out there. You have to really be careful that you could. Some of them have certain chemicals within them that could then eat up the aluminum gutter, as an example.
Oh, wow.
If you use too much of it, I mean, a little bit now, take care of business. You know, maybe it'll wash itself out, but there's always that risk. There are organic products out there that we're familiar with, and some contractors are familiar with, that you can use. It won't damage the shingles, the walls, the siding.
Yeah, because I've heard you can take pantyhose and put the ice melt in there and throw them on top of your roof, and then it will
leach into it. to the ice.
But it all depends on the ice melt you put in there.
Right, and that'll work, but you've got to get it down on the surface. So, and it's only going to take care of what comes down below. So now you've got that salty water running into that block of ice that's at the bottom already. So how effective is that? Because it's now the downspouts aren't full of salty water; they're still full of ice.
Right.
So you have to work through it and get yourself to kind of a clearing point, if you will. So if the dam is giant and big enough, the water that's now backing up behind it, then maybe the first answer is to create channels of openings, so now the water can get through and go over the top of the now clogged up gutter. But it's now getting out, so it's not getting coming into the building. It's a lot of different preventative measures, but it's it's kind of like the horse is out of the barn. It's in some cases. So you're literally just doing the best you can until we look at the snow has to stop. I mean, this is crazy.
Ready for this? He is saving $1,100 per month.
What?
Going from a 6.25% down to 4%, no points, no closing costs, and it's $1,100 in savings. $1,100. Wow. So there's a lot of people out there like that. A lot of people. We talked about this last week. The week before, I was talking with a financial planner, and he said, "Yeah, we didn't refinance. We're in the high 4s. We didn't refinance because we just thought we were going to be moving in the next couple of years." Well, it's a great time to go and do an adjustable rate mortgage. Why? If you're not going to be there for the next couple of years, go and take an interest rate in the 2% range on a 5-year adjustable or 7-year adjustable, and refinance down so you can start saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month at no cost.
People hear the word adjustable rate mortgages, and I think they automatically cringe because we went through the meltdown period and people had these adjustable, and these really weird other programs. Adjustable rate mortgages, for the record, is if it's there's 3, 5, 7, 10 year adjustable rate mortgages, and the number in front of the adjustable rate mortgage is the period in which the interest rate is actually fixed for. So if you are in fact contemplating on moving within the next 2 or 3 years, your advice is get into an adjustable rate mortgage. You will pay their closing costs. They can refinance down to a lower interest rate. They save on a monthly basis. Absolutely brilliant. And so you can execute that short-term plan of moving out within 2 or 3 years, and you're not risking. This is not the type of mortgage product that sort of adjusts on a monthly basis or an annual basis.
Right. It's locked in for a certain amount of time. So me personally, I'm going to raise my kids in my house right now. I have a 7-1 ARM. Now, I'm a little bit more aggressive. I know that I'm going to refinance. I've already refinanced the mortgage twice since I've owned it for 2 years. I'm not going to have that mortgage in 7 years. So I took the 7-1 ARM, and my rate's in the low 3% range. Or I could have done a 4.25% 30-year fix. But why? Listen, a lot of people don't sleep at night knowing they have an adjustable rate. However, if you know you're not going to be in the house at the time of adjustment, then there's so much money you could be saving by moving it to a adjustable rate.